Well, with me now is Charlie Winter, a researcher on jihad issues with the counter-extremism think tank, the Quilliam Foundation. And thanks very much, Charlie, for coming in. I mean, obviously, the very fact that we've got these pictures to look at and be aghast by tells us something, doesn't it? IS want this message out.
Absolutely. For a long time now, Islamic State have been boasting about the fact that they're training children to fight, and also boasting about the fact that they're using them as executioners. We also see many photographs of kids who have been used in suicide operations as well. It's something which is used by Islamic State to really polarize people, to create as much outrage as possible and secure as much publicity too. It's a really fundamental part of its propaganda.
I mean, obviously, from our perspective, we look at 12-year-olds and think this, you know, what it's doing to these young people is possibly irrevocable as well. I mean, how do you turn people round if they've been put through that sort of thing?
Absolutely. It's a generation of children that are facing this kind of activity in Syria and Iraq right now. But, I mean, it's important to note that it's not just Islamic State who are using child soldiers. I think that was a very
Well, that's it. They are all at it, effectively. Would that be fair?
Well, I think perhaps not all at it, but there is a real proliferation of the use of child soldiers in the conflict in Syria and more lately Iraq.
We've seen some pictures at various points also of Iraqi forces beginning to use the sort of retaliatory tactics that they would not be expected to do because of sort of level of brutality that they're seeing from IS side of things. But I suppose also, if this is the way the schools are being run now, that is institutionalizing all this, isn't it? It means that as long as they're there for generation after generation, we can expect that sort of throughput.
Absolutely. I mean, Islamic State is making a lot of fuss about the fact that its school year is taking place. I mean, we've recently had a round of propaganda showing children's exams, but it's very clear that Islamic State is trying to do this for the long term, and that's exactly what its propaganda is trying to say. We're here and we're sticking around. But it's really important that we do recognise that this is a generational problem now. There are many hundreds of, perhaps thousands of children who have been brutalised and indoctrinated by Islamic State propaganda, and they're not just going to disappear if the group does.
Charlie Winter, thank you very much.
Thanks.